I was part of Darden when they explored the ethics area, and I thought it would be useful to have a Center for Business Ethics to represent the school and to be an example for the rest of industry. I thought to be a leading business school, we ought to have an ethics activity that was representative in many, many ways. And that was the major reason for the undertaking. Well, this may sound a bit naive, but I really had no expectations. I was asked to do something, and I tried to do it to my best, that we could put ethics as a part of our business function. We could put it on the map, not only for the school, but for the university. And that was my sole objective. I had no personal aim in mind at the time. Well, I think my contributions have been few, but I think they've been important in that I've invited people to share in the discussion of ethics in a meaningful way. I make it part of my classroom activities and make it part of my executive education activities. I think if we fail to pay attention to the ethical issues surrounding our activities, we miss out on a very important aspect of who we are as a school and what's important at this time. Well, I think the creating of the center was not about me, it was about the activity itself. And for me, that was the important initiative, was to create a center for the study which invited people to become part of a conversation which benefited a much wider population. I mean, business is oftentimes not thought of from an ethics perspective, and yet business, if not conducted in an ethical manner, is a considerable risk to society. Ethics is the essence of who we are, and if we fail to appreciate that, and we fail to invite others into that conversation, then we've missed an opportunity that I think would be too bad. Well, I think there was a general, almost negative approach toward business. And I think it was misunderstood, and I think people in business didn't pay much attention to some of the nuances that, had they paid attention to, would have made a big difference. I don't think many people want to do bad things. I think people, without thinking about it, sometimes drift. The reason we do business is to do it right. I mean, we're a main engine in the societies that we represent. And if we don't get these right, then we take the engine off course, as it would be. I think the biggest issue today is that people don't think about sometimes what they say and do. And I think everything we say and do has a consequence. And I also, as a psychologist, believe that we get a choice in everything we say and do. But I think sometimes people just react, they just behave without thinking about what are the implications for other people. And I think today there's much more of a tendency to be more egocentric than other-directed. And it's not that we ought to do what everybody expects us to do, but I think it's important that as managers, as leaders, as professors, we ought to be aware of the implications of our behavior for our students and for others that we influence. I mean, I think we're given the privilege of teaching at a university like ours, at a school like Darden. I think that's a privilege, and for me, it's always been terribly important to keep that in mind, whatever it is that I do, because not everybody steps on this stage. And when you do, everything you say and do matters. You don't get any free choices, or free behaviors. You get choices, but the behaviors are always out there. I think it's challenging people to be aware of the consequences of their immediate behaviors. When we talk about leadership and we talk about people in positions of power and influence, I think to think it's a free stage where they can do anything they want to do without consequence is troublesome. I think everything you and I say and do matters. And I think when you step on that stage as an executive, as a CEO, as a general manager, as a political figure, your behavior every day has a consequence with regards to other people. It's not that you ought to, be shy and sheepish and whatever, but whatever it is you say and do, it has the opportunity to create value or take value away. And I think as human beings, we have that very special privilege to be able to create value in what we say and do, and to invite other people to do the same. And to me, leaders are people who invite people to be on the stage and be better than they would be had that invitation not been extended. I think that's an ethical, moral issue, because when you think about it, the influence and the value you and I create and the value we invite others to create is really what our society is all about. It's easy to be, I guess, thinking only of oneself, but when you walk in that classroom, everything you say and do has a consequence. And I think if we fail to look at that, and if we fail to think about the implications that our behavior will have for other people, we're missing an opportunity to, in fact, create a value and invite others to do the same.